Whenever there's fire in WWE, only one man comes to your mind, and that is our big red monster Kane. One of the greatest characters of WWE, Kane and Fire always had a long friendship, but sometimes it was scary, and sometimes it was not even safe for Kane. Let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at every time Kane played with fire in WWE. I think we all know this moment when Kane burned The Undertaker alive. This was Kane's first interaction with fire. I don't think this moment needs an introduction because Kane burned Undertaker alive inside a casket. So this is a story of Royal Rumble 1998 where Shawn Michaels faced The Undertaker. But the little brother Kane came and interfered in the match, helping Shawn Michaels to win, trapped The Undertaker in the casket and burned the casket alive. This was very shocking for the fans. We don't usually see this type of stuff in that era. So let's move on to the next one when Daniel Bryan threw Kane on a flaming table. Now this type of stuff never happened in WWE after this moment. And this moment was also happening after almost 12 years. So Kane sets up a flaming table outside the ring for Daniel Bryan. They both were standing on the apron, but Daniel Bryan took advantage of it and dropped Kane on the flaming table. Fire extinguishers came for Kane, but at the end Daniel Bryan won the match. Now this was something which went against Kane. The next time Kane played with fire was Armageddon 2006, where Kane literally burned MVP. Yes, you won't believe it. So this is a story of Kane versus MVP which happened at Armageddon 2006. Now obviously Kane dominated the whole Inferno match, but in the end MVP was trying to run away from Kane and Kane pushed him outside the ring. And then he pushed MVP onto the flames, burning MVP's back. Now the way MVP was selling and the way he was acting deserves an Oscar for that performance. Next time, the Kane was burned, and this is the story of Shane McMahon and Kane's rivalry. So Shane McMahon and Kane was a part of an intense rivalry. So on an episode of Raw, Shane McMahon and Chris Jericho took on each other, but Kane interfered and stopped the match. After this, Shane McMahon and Kane started fighting in the backstage area, but Kane had other plans. There were cans of gasoline around that area, so Kane dropped that gasoline in a tub-like structure and set it on fire. But when Kane tried to drop Shane McMahon inside that dump of fire, Shane McMahon dodged it and threw Kane into that fire. Sometimes Kane's own weapon was a bigger threat to him. Now let's move on to the next time when Kane burned Jim Ross. Yes, you heard it right. Kane actually burned the legendary commentator Jim Ross. Now here Kane's and Stone Cold Steve Austin rivalry was going on, and in this time Jim Ross was taking an interview of Kane, but Kane's unstable emotions led to something which turned out one of the most shocking moments in TV history. Yes, Kane attacked Jim Ross, puts gasoline and literally burns Jim Ross on fire. The look on Stone Cold Steve Austin's face, it was fear. But yeah, that's why Kane is the big red monster. The next one you might have never seen. So this was a really cool moment from Monday Night Raw when Kane set fire on a steel cage. So Steve Austin and Undertaker were inside the steel cage, and the steel cage at that time was the old blue cage. Vince McMahon was sitting outside, and the Undertaker and Steve Austin started attacking each other. But during this moment, Kane arrives. Kane comes near the ring post and does his signature pose and set that steel cage on fire. See, I told you, you might have never seen this type of stuff. Okay, let's move on to the next stuff, and you might also have seen this when Undertaker burned Kane's hand. Now, after Kane burned the Undertaker was not going to sit quiet. He was going to take revenge, and that revenge came in the form of an Inferno match, where the ring is surrounded by fire. Now, nobody is going to interfere, and this match is going to be one of a kind. So, the Undertaker throws Kane out of the ring, and he also gets out of the ring, beats the hell out of Kane. Undertaker was looking very angry. He first attacks Paul Bearer, then he gives a big boot to Kane, and Kane's hands goes into the fire, burning Kane's hand, and after that Kane ran away. This was completely unexpected for the fans. Nobody, even in the wildest dreams, could have thought that. The next one you must watch because Kane literally burned William Regal's office. Now this story goes like this. Kane and Undertaker wanted a match with Triple H and Austin, but William Regal was not fulfilling their demand. So Undertaker told Kane to show his power. First Kane burned the trash can, then he burned the flower pot, and then he burned his table. William Regal in fear accepted all the demands of Kane and Undertaker, but this was really creative segment, and the way they all were performing was outstanding. The next one, Kane literally threw a fireball on his opponent's face. So this happened on an episode of Raw where X-Pac and Undertaker faced each other. This was Attitude Era, so the matches were short. So Kane interfered with his fireball machine and threw a fireball on X-Pac's eye. Everybody was shocked. X-Pac was not well. His eye was paining so much. Medical team came and tried to calm the situation down. The next one was also a fireball attack, but this time it went wrong. It hit the wrong person. So there was something going on with Kane, China, and Triple H. Triple H confronted China, but Kane arrived to save China. Triple H tried to attack Kane, but nothing happened. And then he threw that fireball, but it hit China. Now Kane was so sad because of this. He was checking China. He even took China with him on his arms. The next one is ultimate showcase of Kane's power. He set up everything on fire. Now during this moment, first Kane burned the announcer's table and then he even sets fire on a TV crew member. This was shocking. This was an horrible incident. Like, this was obviously planned. Back in the day, they used a lot of fire for Kane in the starting years, but this was a masterpiece. Anyways, this was it. This was every time Kane played with fire in WWE. And no matter how powerful Kane might be, he's one of the nicest guys in WWE and in public. So that's it for the video, guys. I hope you have liked this video. Till then, see you soon.